So this is our second follow-up Friday, and show me what you got.
Time is flying, isn't it?
Oh God, I don't. Oh, I'm so freaking out.
What are we down to? About 63 days?
Ah, yes.
Well, since last week, I have made a lot of progress. At least I think I did. Um, I have finally finished the shoulder pads on the costume here for both of them. As you can see, I have you on a tripod now, so that everything can be sort of easily looked at and displayed. Um, I am still in the process of wiring everything up. The shoulder pads, as I talked about last week, have LEDs in them, as does the chest piece here. And right now I'm centrally wiring everything and making it so that I can actually take the shoulders off, reconnect them at ease. So they won't be permanently connected, make it a little easier for storage. But
Right.
here's what we basically have so far. Everything runs off 9 volt on this setup. Roughly 4 LEDs in the chest, 3 in one shoulder, 1 in the other. A nice little hidden switch in the back. So I have a little bit of a light there. It's kind of hard to see because it's a little bit brighter in the room than it should be. But I will tilt the shoulders over so you can actually see them. But we
Oh
have,
wow,
we have a
that's
little more
so cute.
lights up, and the other side
That is
are
awesome. Wow.
so that is really, I'm still sort of trying to finish everything. I have had the vest and shoulders and everything, as you see, on myself. Super
Mhm.
super comfortable, barely any weight because everything's made out of Warbler. Everything's basically just plastic. Doesn't weigh a lot, so it's comfortable. This isn't like my Iron Man costume where you're weighted down with about 45, 50 pounds a year. It's a little bit different, a little bit more comfortable. I'm still working on the vest here. Be able to see, angle the camera down a bit, but the character has it's actually just pinned on for right now, but has
Mhm.
sort of a connector piece with a little down arrow, and I've been getting a lot of flack from some of my friends about what the suggests.
Yeah.
But hey, that's how the character actually had something like that. It was like a belt buckle. I'm just gonna have to go with it. I'm just gonna let him hate. I don't care. I don't care.
It's Dragon Con. It will work. It
It's
works
very
there.
fun. Everybody's going to be having too good of a time anyway to really notice it. um,
If they notice it, I don't think they're gonna give you a hard time about it.
I'm hoping not, but it's going to happen. It's going to. I did get to work on this weekend, this past weekend, I should say. Made some progress on the collar for the character right here. Um, this is actually completely all out of Warbler. I can show you how it looks.
Oh wow.
It's sprayed with actually uh, oh man, a heat-tempered manifold paint that actually has metal in it, so sunlight,
Mm.
a little bit of light, it actually shows reflection on the
Oh
silver
wow.
of it. But it's just aged a little bit just for looks. This screw is not how it's actually going to look.
Mhm.
I actually have ordered, they're coming from overseas, 3 um, small padlocks, 19th century style padlocks that are roughly about the size of a 50-cent piece, so about like that
Mhm.
big. And I'm going to have 1 in here, and then on the gauntlets that I'll be making, they're going to have shackles on each arm, which those locks will be on there too. So it just happened to work out that found an auction on eBay that had 3 locks, and I can use all 3.
Nice. It
So
looks amazing.
that's the plan so far. It's coming together. And one nice thing too, this is made out of Warbler. It fits around
Mhm.
my neck really comfortably. Um, Not binding. It's just high enough that it touches. I don't
Mhm.
annoying it long term wear, but we'll find out. I'll have to test fit it all.
Right.
That's going to be a big thing. I did make a few other little progresses slightly over the weekend. This costume I mentioned is going to be using 2 smoke generators. The type of smoke generator I use are called Wizard Sticks. You can find them online. Uh, Purchase them on eBay between $20 $30, depending on who you get from. Wizard sticks are kind of big. They're handheld, um, roughly about, I'm going to say about the EA tall.
Mm-hmm.
They take 6 AA batteries. They're a little cumbersome. But
Wow.
what you can do is, since it takes 6 AA batteries, that's equivalent to 9 volts. You can convert them, you can cut them down. They run on a pressure switch instead of an on-off switch. You can convert them to an on-off switch. This is basically what you have when you cut one down.
Okay.
And as you can see,
Oh my goodness.
this is nothing. This is it just warming up at this point. But
Ah!
we throw a lot of smoke. I'm going to have one of these mounted into the lantern, which is actually in the back corner there, the sight lantern. I'll be showing that next week, how that works. But, I mean, this throws a ton of smoke. I'm also going to have one of these mounted, hidden, mounted on the back of my costume here. So that basically I'll be able to generate smoke behind my head. Now I'm going to have a hood with this costume, and I showed the skull mask and everything last week. Hopefully, if this works properly, the hood over my head will just basically collect the smoke, and then it can just naturally billow out. So it should be a neat looking effect. I've not seen too many people ever do any smoke effects. I picked this up from a steampunk friend of mine, Daniel Valdez, out of Alabama, and he's been doing it for like 5 years. And I really, honestly, other than him, have not seen a whole lot of people integrate smoke into their costumes. I think it's a neat effect. And now with the stuff that they have out, that's basically like an e-cig. As far as I know, I've had some friends I've tested it on that were asthmatic. It doesn't bother them.
Wow.
Doesn't smell like anything. It's just, just like water vapor.
Dude, it's gonna be so scary.
That's the point. I'm trying to be scary. I'm trying
Goodness.
to look a little bit evil. Another thing that I was working on too, finishing up, was the blade for the scythe. This is actually going to mount up to that, and I'll be showing the whole build of how I did that last week. But I just finally finished painting it. I got the airbrushed fade of the blade into it, so it's sort of a black to silver fade.
Oh,
The silver was also, you can see as it reflects, was painted in that heat-tempered engine manifold paint, which really comes out like bare steel. So it has a little bit of a look to it. Now the batteries are a little bit drained on this, but the edge of the blade has a strand of EL wire in it, and that's basically just for, you can probably see a little bit on the screen there, just for glow effects with it, makes it look like the blade's hot.
Oh my god. That's so crazy. That blade is bigger than I am.
What?
The blade is bigger than I am.
It's not real big. It's
not real big.
I know. I think it's only about 30 inches long, but this is all made from the underside of it is polystyrene, like pink insulation,
Right.
styrofoam. Basically, I just sculpted it out, and then it is coated with polyester resin. Basically, a high-quality type of Bondo that I use. I used to use it on car projects. It's a lot better than the Bondo you will buy in stores. It goes on kind of like cake icing. It's actually cold icing. It takes a lot of it to do this, but you have a pretty good plastic-type coated surface, pretty durable. Obviously, paint will still scratch. It can still be cracked and things like that, so you have to take care of it. The transportation of this is going to be probably the biggest thing. But we'll talk about that probably a little bit more next week.
Oh man.
Progress is slow. I'm trying to pace myself. My big worry right now is I have bought the fabric for the cape.
Okay.
The cape is going to be completely. I don't have a pattern for it, so I'm going to have to make this up as I go. I actually can spin this around a little bit. You're going to see some of my rough wiring that I have on here.
I don't think anyone will mind.
I hope not. This is my wiring. I don't know if you can see it too well on here. It's basically me trying to hook up the shoulder pads, power source and everything, because the wiring is going to be hidden when it's all done. But I have this bracket here that's made out of Worbla.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically what I'm going to be mounting the smoke generator to it. So I can
Okay.
actually see how that's going to look. It's going to basically mount like this, make a little
Mm-hmm.
port, and it'll have a small tube that's going to come up, channel it up slightly, so that it'll be able to blow smoke around my head, give that whole smoke effect. But what I'm going to do is the cape for this costume is going to be two pieces. Basically, these four mounting bolts, those
Uh-huh.
are actually what holds the shoulder to the vest.
Okay.
There's two in the front as well. And what's funny is, although it's mounted to the vest, it completely makes them mobile. There's really no better way of connecting these things. And what's nice is it's steampunk looking because I use little gears for washers just to help
Mm-hmm.
pull on. The cape's going to be two pieces. It's basically going to mount off of these bolts as well. It's going to
Okay.
mount behind the shoulders. The cape will be in, it'll come down to the waist, taper down from the shoulders to the waist. The waist is going to have some type of a leather harness in the back. I haven't decided how I'm going to make it yet, but that harness is going to keep the cape tucked right up against my body, up to my back, and then it's going to flare out to my feet.
Oh my
So it's not going to
goodness.
be a big billowing cape. It's going to look more like a robe, like an open robe.
Okay.
You can picture that. And then the hood for this cape is then going to mount top bolts. It's going to be just a standard hood that I can throw over the top or pull back. So the cape's basically going to be a two-piece setup. And no patterns for it. I'm going to have to completely wing it. I think I've got enough fabric to be able to try it. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm still kind of worried about it. But all in all, I'm hoping the effect is what I'm going to reach. And the judges at the Friday Night Costume Contest will like it. That's
Okay.
my biggest
How much,
goal.
how much fabric did you get for the
I ended
cape?
up getting, actually, probably can't see it too well, but I tried to go with some more natural fibers. The outside of the cape is actually going to be a type of a burlap. It's probably really hard to see the texturing on here. Not, but
Yeah.
it doesn't wrinkle at all. So I figure it's going to make a good outside. The inside I'm using a dull side of like a satin.
Okay.
Satin has a little bit of body, although it will wrinkle.
Right.
Help with the flaring of it. Bought 2 yards of each. Got it on sale because I cosplay on a budget. I ended up getting it, I think, at Hancock's, all 4 yards for $17 with tax.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what's funny. A lot of my costumes, people don't realize how inexpensive I have in materials. My Iron Man costume, which I know you've seen, the entire thing I have $350 invested in it.
Get out!
No, 350. I had about 290 in it at Dragon Con when I had won the costume contest for Best Journeyman last year. And then I put in another 60 upgrading the armor this past winter and spring.
Wow.
You have to look for deals.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to shop for deals for fabric and other things and see what you can do with it. But this is coming along. I mean, I don't think I really got to talk about the vest much, but again, I'm trying to keep with steampunk, 19th
Mhm.
century Victorian fashion type things. The fabric that I used on this is actually an upholstery fabric, which I've found makes great vest materials if you ever want a vest because it's very heavy and thick. It too was a sale item. I think I got a yard of it for like $9 or something like that.
Wow.
A little cheap. It only took about a yard to do. The back is in a silk, which you probably saw with the cinchers that I do. That's also a Peter Craig thing. The buckles that are on here, I actually bought the buckles. I had about 10 of these. I used some of them originally on my Iron Man suit, and I
Mhm.
didn't, so I ended up taking them off. But they make great accessory buckles. They don't actually hold the vest together. There's actually hidden buttons
Okay.
put together. They're more for just for the look, but the straps I've actually made myself out of leather, so they all have an edge on them. And then these little triangle darts that are basically holding them down.
Mhm.
I all made custom bent those out of brass. Same way
Oh
with
my God.
brass. Yeah, the brass trim that I have on the vest here, and also the brass trim that's on the shoulder edges. All this is
Mhm.
hand cut and shaped out of brass.
Holy crap.
So it's coming along.
Well, it sure is.
it's coming along. But that's the whole thing. You know, it's because I'm being competitive with this. I know a lot of other people that are working on our project here. They still Dragon Con. They're entering in like 2, 3, 4 different costumes that they're working on, and I'm just working on this one. Uh, you know, the whole reason for that is you know, so much time going into it. This being a contest, I have to enter in as master because I already won journeyman last year.
Mm-hmm.
I really have to make sure this thing is absolutely as top notch as I can do. I have to pull out all the stops on this one. And one of the ways of doing that is it just takes a lot of time. You've got to have attention to detail.
It looks amazing. Oh my goodness.
I'll let you know in about 60 days.
Ah, I'm so freaking out for you.
I know, it's okay. I've been keeping pretty calm. So
Yeah, 'cause I'm taking all the stress.
we're good. We're good. I mean, I'm gonna have a couple other costumes at Dragon Con. People I'm gonna be working on but they're gonna be more for just hanging out, nothing real serious, just hanging out with friends. I'm gonna have my male Elsa there again. I'm gonna try to revamp it, more so in wig and makeup. Now that we have Arda as one of our sponsors, I'm real excited about that. I planned on getting a new wig for that costume from them, Platinum Wig. Hopefully they'll have it in stock when I try to order it here. But I'm also going to try, originally I had just shaved for it. I hated it. I actually I good that I couldn't find any temporary dye for it. Now I have.
Okay,
So
good.
I'm going to give it a shot. And, just tweak the costume a little bit, fix up some things. Supposed to be a lot of Disney gender bend costumes, a lot of other male cosplayers they're going to try to meet up with. So it should be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
Forward to it. But yeah, that's about it for me this week. This weekend I'm going to be working on the cape, getting it all set up. Might start drawing out the gauntlets are going to look like. They're going to be pretty crazy. Probably painted in the same sort of color scheme that we have here, metal with brass trim. Got to try to make them functional because I'm going to have to be holding that big sight back there around my shoulder, so they have to be able to feel. So it's going to take a little get to know, but I think I can do it.
You're planning on doing it out of Warbler?
Yeah, the gauntlets are going to be based around 2 old leather gloves that I have, but they're going to be full-on gauntlets up to my wrist, so there's going to have to be padding in them. I'll probably have to line them with felt or something like that, but they're just going to be clasped on with probably leather buckles. The gloves underneath are going to be just the leather, so I'll actually be able to handle stuff beyond the outsides, where I'll have like gnarly fingers and crazy-looking stuff. I think that's going to really make the costume, you know, take it to the next step because, you know, you have a face like this, you're kind of expected to have some crazy hands, so
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm excited. This should be pretty cool. And this character I've not really ever seen him done before. I think somebody had sent me one more recently. Somebody had done it. The actual character was really cool. But it's a strange character. Once people see me hanging around a bunch of Green Lanterns, I think they'll get it.
Right.
We'll see. I hope it has a makes a big splash before into it. You know, get into it, understand it.
It's awesome.
Makes all the work worthwhile.
Yeah. Well, until next week, I look forward to seeing what you have next.
Okay. See you then.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.